welcome back to my channel today, and we are doing a brand new Sims 4 speed build today. And so today I bring you a mini mansion, is how I would put it, on a 40 by 30 lot. It's over 215,000 simoleons on the gallery, but let me tell you, I have had this build sitting in my video folder for a good solid 2 months, and it's been quite some time since I last finished it. I finished it actually last week on stream, so if you want to go watch that video, I will leave a link down below in the description in case you want to go check it out for yourself. But overall, I'm very pleased of this house because I wanted to be able to make sure that I was finishing my save file at a decent rate, because if you don't know, I'm working on my own save file where I have all these new houses, all these new Sims, and all different backstories all created by myself, because I've always had this idea of, like, I want to be able to make something for myself and see what I could do. And so a save file has happened, and I'm nowhere near done with it because I'm very slow at building, but I'm also very, I wouldn't say picky, but I'm more like a perfectionist when it comes to the storylines and the Sims and how they're looking and where they're going to live. Stuff like that. So I wanted to make sure that the save file was, decently good before I released it out into the world for you all to download. And of course, there's going to be a video about how to download and stuff like that, and the entire backstory of the save file. And I am very, very happy about this because I don't know if you all know. If you're new to the channel, hello, how are you? What you doing? But if you're not new and you're just a lovely seasoned regular, you would know that I love storytelling. And storytelling is one of those things that I really love to do a lot. And I have created a Google Doc link of all the worlds we have in The Sims 4, along with all the families that I want to create and their backstories, like their children, their jobs, basically everything. And it's not done, but it's very, very detailed. Like, it's all like a jumbled mess, but it's a jumbled mess that I can understand as of right now. But soon it'll be all organized and all cool and things like that. But I don't know, I'm just very, very excited to show you all the progress that I've been making lately. And usually for me, I'm not a person that will go world by world because I don't work like that, but I'm a person that will go to different worlds whatever I see fit that makes me feel the most happiest, or whatever. So I go in different worlds in spurts. Like, one day you'll see me building in Willow Creek, the next day you'll see me building in Del Sol Valley, stuff like that. But for this house, there is a story behind it, and it's very, like, small because I'm, like, still writing it and everything. But the story behind this build is that I created this family a while back ago, and if you don't remember, I think their name was the McNeil family, I'm pretty sure. I did a creative sim video of my BitLife family in The Sims 4 because I love playing BitLife on a daily basis. It's not even funny. So I decided to make them in The Sims 4 with no custom content, all base game compatible and everything. And I was like, their family lineage is actually insane, and it works perfectly for my save file. So what I decided to do is put them in this house. But the twist is that only the grandmother lives here and the grandkids come here every now and then when the parents are away on a business trip or whatever in San Myshuno or Del Sol Valley, wherever they are at the moment. They're not really the best parents when you think about it. So the grandmother lives here. Her husband died back in, like, the late 1940s. So it's been a very long time. She's been alone in this house for, I'm going to say, about a good solid 36 years. 36 years. Her children are like 40 something. So it's been a minute. And I just checked. Their last name is O'Neill, not McNeil. Becky O'Neill is just a lovely old woman who is looking around like 70, 80 something years old. I haven't figured out her age just yet, but the cool thing about Becky McNeil is that she is a painter extraordinaire, or wants to be a painter extraordinaire. She has been painting her entire life since she was very, very little. Her parents taught her, mostly her mother taught her about painting and kind of taught her the ways of, like, expressionist and, abstract and, traditional and non-traditional, stuff in, like, digital paint. Taught her everything that she knew. And it was Becky's dream to always open up her own, very own, like, art shop or some type of go to an art gallery or put her stuff in an art exhibit. And she's been like that since I could remember her being like walking as a toddler, talking about, ooh, I love art, I love that, I love this, I love that. And Becky's just like that one of those Sims that you didn't think that would be so advanced in talking and like walking and like painting so early on in her life. Like the day she was like 1 years old, she started talking. And I'm like I walked downstairs and I'm like, Becky, you 1 years old, why you talking? But she was very advanced as a toddler. She started talking at a very young age, started walking at like around like 2 or whatever. And then she picked up this paintbrush and was like, do da dee da do, like started like dabbling on the floor mostly, and then the wall, and then eventually a canvas at age 5. So we were, it was a little bit rough back then, but we eventually got there. Eventually, as one does. But so Becky, she was like around like 16 years old, and she told her parents like, hey, mom, dad, I really want to become a painter when I grow up and go to school for like art and be able to open my own art shop one day. And her parents were like, okay, sure, Becky, totally fine. Go forth in your endeavors, do what you got to do. We'll support you all the way through. And I think it was around when she was, I think 25 years old is when she met her husband. And I think his name was Charles, I believe. It's been a hot minute since I last talked to Charles, because Charles is, or wasn't, no, not is, was crazy, might I add. Like, not, no, he was mentally crazy. Just gonna put that out there. He was insane. So, nevertheless, when she met Charles, let's just say they had a few kids. They're doing great for themselves. And when he passed away, like back in the war, like the 1940s, around that time, yeah. So when that happened, they were thinking, we have this growing family. You have your art business going for you. Like at the time, she was really being very successful at her art, and Charles and Becky were like, we have this family. We're doing really great in our like money situation. Let's buy a house. And this is the house that they bought back in the like late 1930s. And the Goss family lived right next door. So like their next door neighbors were the Goss family back then, not Mortimer and those people. It was mostly their ancestors that lived next door later on in their life. Mortimer and Bella were born, the gist of the things. So when they bought this house, they had neighbors already, like the Goss family and some people across the street and one over. And they had like great get-togethers and great Gatsby parties, and it was just all the rage. Like they were the hype of the hype. And as you can see here, like I'm building the office, but I think in a couple of minutes or so, you'll see the part of the house where it has a sunken part, where one side is the living room and the other side is the dining room. And there's like this big giant piano, like towards like where the stairs are, like not this part, but the next part. When I tell you that Becky and Charles were all the rage with the Goss family of the parties, they were basically the household of the century back then, before Charles died, Rip, rest in peace, Charles. Charles was a good man, but insane. But when they had all those parties, it was like, man, oh man, it was just great for them at the time. Like their social status went up. They made a lot of friends. They made a lot of connections. Becky made a lot of connections when she was trying to get herself out there in the business of art. And she actually opened up her art gallery named after Charles after he died, like 5 years after he died, which is still very like recent and new for her. But when she opened up the art gallery, she was like, I'm dedicating this to my late husband, Charles, and my children are full support in this. And they want to be able to kind of share their experience and see what they could do to help their mother and the citizens of Willow Creek. And I'm really happy to say that where they are now in life, it's like they're taking one step at a time. Even though it's been like many, many years, is still taking one step at a time, because Charles meant so much to a lot of people back then when they were, doing things out and about, having these parties. They were like very well known. And so it's still like recently, like not recently, but more like like, whenever you lose someone so dear and near to your heart that it still hurts after so long, that you want to be able to like capture and remember their memories for a very, very long time, but it's still like it still hurts, like it's recent, like it just happened. That's how like everyone else feels in Willow Creek, and how Becky still feels. And so she's dedicating all of her art and her life basically to her late husband Charles. And I don't know, Becky's just really just going through a lot. And her kids are still there, like they're in their 40s, almost 50s, and so they're being able to take care of her when they want to, or when she needs them to be there. Like, of course, they have like Thanksgiving and Christmas together, and they're doing really great for themselves in their jobs. And Becky was thinking of actually not closing down the business, but more so like giving it to someone else within the family. And they don't have any other relatives besides, the kids and the grandkids. So it's like that they need to be able to carry on the legacy of the O'Neill family as long as possible, and being able to, hand down the business as time goes on. And she hasn't done that yet because, granted, the kids are very young, or the grandkids are very young, and her kids, she only has, I think, three. Last time I checked, she had three kids. Yeah, she had three kids. Because it's been a hot minute since I last, you know, made the O'Neill family. So it's been quite a hot minute. I don't have them documented in my Google Doc link yet, or my Google Doc page, spreadsheet, whatever you want to call it. I don't have them marked down yet, but I will. But it's like that the grandkids are too young to really like take over anything, and they're not really at the appropriate age of, doing business. Like they're in elementary school, and like their diapers and toddlers. Like she has about, I think, 7 grandkids. Her son has 2, and then her daughter has about 4, and then her other son has 1. So there's like 7 grandkids. And that's a lot of grandkids as of right now. They don't plan on having any more like children, but you never really know what could happen. It's, spur in the moment, stuff like that. But Becky is just Becky, and her children are just her children, and her grandchildren are just her grandchildren. And like I said, the bottom portion of the split leveling, I use platforms, which I really, really love, even though they're broken. I really like how I designed this house from the very start to the very end. And I built most of this on stream. And I'm glad that I was able to build this on stream to give you all an insight of what I was doing and who was going to live here. And he also gave me a lot of ideas on how I can make this house look really, really functional, but really elegant, but in a classy way, where it still like has family aspects to it, but still has grown up in the modern day age of 2020, or I would say in this time, 2011, in the time period of the save file. Because like I want to make sure that the save file has like some history to it, where I'm putting my all, like literally my all, into the save file, where I have multiple generations. I'm going to have a graveyard. I'm going to have all these things. It might not be very necessary to have them, but I hated history in high school, was never good at it, but I do love a good story. And so like when you have a history behind a family that has like many, many generations, and you can go visit their grave or whatever, it makes it more worthwhile playing with that family to uncover the secrets, or uncover whatever they have, and continue their legacy to make it grow and flourish even more for lifetimes. I don't know. It's just like I just live that way, and I live life to the fullest in my Sims and in real life, and never take no for an answer, or, be able to push forward my endeavors and work for myself and be able to be my own boss. I always speak the truth here, and I always speak the truth about my Sims. Like, they want to be working for themselves and not for someone else, because when you work for somebody else, it feels like you're pushing towards their goals and achieving their goals and not your own. And so it feels a little bit weird that when you have like a 9 to 5 job, like in The Sims, like it doesn't feel like you're growing fast enough, or you're not growing for yourself. And so that's what Becky wants. And that's where I'm like coming to, where Becky is working for herself. She's been doing that for a good solid 60 some odd 70 years. And I'm glad she's doing that. And she's made a name for herself in the business of art. and her art gallery is doing really well. She's traveled the world to Del Sol Valley, San Myshuno, especially San Myshuno, for a couple of years, and like the art gallery or the art district. And she's had her paintings up there for a while. She has a few in the art district. If you go visit there, she has a few of her paintings there, which is really, really handy. Like half of the exhibit is pretty much her work. I'm just saying. She's a painter extraordinaire. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to sell her product. She knows how to do things. She's an art lover. She's creative, and she's also family orientated. So like pretty much everything that she makes is from her family, and she's like put that out into the world saying, hey, this is what I've made, this is what I'm doing, and I hope you like it. Buy my stuff, and I'll make some more in the future. Like she's not mean. She's more like, she's like a go-getter. She's like forward, and she's very blunt and honest about what she wants and how she's gonna get there. And I'm happy she's doing what she's doing, and she's doing it the correct way instead of like the wrong way, if that makes any sense. And so she has all these things that she's doing to build her business for her family and future generations after her. So that is why she has this house. That's why she still lives in the house, and that's why she still has all this like baby furniture, because she knows her grandkids are like young. So this house actually has a grand total of 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. One bedroom is a baby's like newborn room, like right here, and the room that you just saw was a toddler's room. And then one room is like a guest bedroom. I think that has a double bed, I'm pretty sure. And then we have the main bedroom, which is her bedroom, which you'll see at the very end of this video, because I wanted to make sure that her room was like really top and elegant and really, really cool on how it was going to look. And surprisingly, I'm using items that I don't normally use in the game that often, because I don't really see a purpose of using very expensive, luxurious items for my Sims, because my Sims are always poor. Like, can we all just relate for a split second? Sims are not meant to be rich. They're meant to be poor. Like, every single chance I get, I try my darn hardest to get my Sims to, get at least, a couple thousand, 100,000 simoleons, but they don't get there that fast. They get there very slow, and then when they get there, it's like depleted very quick because they got to pay their bills, buy new furniture, build a new house, stuff like that. Buy new appliances. Like, it's a lot. So they just tend to stay poor. And Becky's not poor. She's basically semi-borderline rich. She's not in middle class. She is in high class, or like mid-high class is where I would put her because of everything that is going on. And surprisingly, she's doing quite good for herself financial-wise. Like right now, last time I checked, this woman has 5 million simoleons. I'm not exaggerating. 5 million, like 5,036,662 million simoleons. That's how much simoleons she has at this current time. So she's rich, but not as rich as the Goth family. Like the Goth family, once you see their house transformed and new and improved, and their household funds, along with the Kim Lewis household, which I might just take out completely and put a new family there. Like the high society people in the neighborhoods, you just know. But Becky, O'Neill, and those people, very like mid, high class. And that's where I put them at this current time, until further notice. But either way, I'm going to go ahead and actually wrap up this voiceover right here, and we're going to go into the real-time tour. So let's go ahead and hop into the tour. So now that we're into the real-time tour of the video, I wanted to say that thank you all so much for leaving some amazing and kind comments in my previous video, also my videos before, because it really means a lot that you all enjoy my storytelling, the builds that I create, the Sims that I create for them, and it really means a lot, and it motivates me even more to make some more stories and make more Sims and more builds that you all want to see, but all videos that I want to see as well, because recently I fixed my DSLR camera and face cam videos are coming back better than ever, and I'm quite excited because I miss doing face cam and you all seem to enjoy them as well. But before I get into the tour, I just wanted to point out something in this build right here. This entire thing right here. 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. It was not planned. It just happened. And it looks like a face. Like the side, like literally the front of the house looks like a face. 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. I don't know. You know, they did say houses do come alive. You know, smart house, monster house. It could happen in The Sims as well. You just never know. But either way, this is our home. And this build actually took me 5.5 hours to build, and I cut out a lot of things in the video that you did not see, like the entire landscaping portion. I cut out completely because I took about 1.5 hours to do everything because I was very indecisive and couldn't decide on what I wanted to do. But yeah, if you wanted me to leave in the landscaping more often in my videos, let me know in the comments below so I could leave that in, and you know, so you can see how long and also my struggles of landscaping, because the one thing I enjoy the most about building is the landscaping and just actually the entire exterior. The interior just takes me way too long and I get very frustrated because I don't know what I want per se. But yeah, if you want to see more landscaping, let me know. But overall, this is the entire front porch, and I didn't want to do too much on the exterior for the front porch and the back porch because I knew for a fact that I wasn't going to play in this house for a very long time. So I just kept it very simple, like some debug plants on both sides, the chess table, and also just, you know, this bench. And then here's where I actually cut out this part. So I was like, ooh, what if I put like a side garden on the house, like a side part of the house has a garden on the side, like this right here, because I usually put all my garden plots in the backyard, and that seems so very generic and simple, but I was like, I want to switch it up and change it, so I decided to put it on the side and size down the hedges to give it a unique look, and it looks pretty nice. So your Sims can come here, plant some stuff, throw away some trash or recycle, and just sit out here on their balcony or the side porch or whatever you want to call it, and just relax and reflect in the moment and see what happens. And yeah, I just think I want to do that more often in more of my bigger homes, because I feel like if I just put in the backyard, it's just all crammed in one place. So I just like the side part, it's easier. And then in here we have the foyer area, pretty simple and pretty easy. Oh, I also cut out all of the bathroom portion because it's all pretty much the same throughout the entire house, your generic bathroom. And I don't know about you, but I struggle very, very hard with making my bathrooms look interesting. And you know what I also forgot? I always try to put in a debug plunger in all my bathrooms to give that distinct, it's a bathroom and not where you wash your dishes and other things. So I might put those plungers in before I upload it to the gallery so you all can have it and have that realism. But that's the bathroom here. And then here is the office. This is where Charles used to, you know, work in his spare time when he was, you know, a youngin'. Every now and then that's where he kind of did his thing. And then over here is a little kids corner, which I kind of like a lot. And I think around in the winter time or like the winter season for my game, in this house specifically, what I might do is probably rearrange some of this furniture a little bit and put a Christmas tree here, or move the piano somewhere different. I don't know. But if you ever download this house and you have seasons or the holiday pack, which is free for everyone, the holiday pack is free. And it also comes with a Christmas tree as well. So either one, you have seasons or the holiday pack, what I would recommend is either replacing this area or replacing the piano with a Christmas tree and like doing some special festivities. I don't know. You do you, but that's what I'm personally going to do. Replace one of these two areas. But yeah, a little kids corner here for your kids to, you know, do some exciting things, to do some activities. And I've been doing this recently in all my builds, especially in my Sims 2 builds, is this custom flooring right here. And all I really did was the Control F on my keyboard to get the corner tiles. And I just kind of maneuvered them around to give this like square looking unique shape. And I actually like it. So I want to probably use them more often in my bigger homes, and I guess my smaller homes, so they don't look very bleh, you know? So that's what I'm going to do more often. And then this entire piece right here is sunken, where I used platforms to make the floor lower than it already is. And I kind of like how it's different from the other parts of the house, where The kitchen part is on a elevation, and then the kitchen or the dining room and living room are on a small little platform. And it all works out very well. And the entire house has a very cohesive look of brown and green and white, and a little bit of gray and black here and there, but the main theme is brown and green. And this entire house is completely base game. So if you have the base game, which I think everyone pretty much has at this point, you should be able to download with no problems. And I did not use any custom content whatsoever. I did use debug. It's in the game, not custom content. It's in the game. Because some people are very confused on what debug is. Debug is basically within the game itself. So I don't use any build CC in my game whatsoever because personally, that's a lot of stuff to link in the description, which I don't have time for. So I just utilize debug to the best of my ability. And yeah, so that's the entire first floor. But for the second floor, like I said, there are 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. Like, yeah, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So yeah, 4 and 4, the entire house. So you have a lot of room to put a lot of Sims in here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A 6-family home. So you'll be able to kind of fit a lot of Sims in here with no issue. You probably could squeeze in at least 8 Sims if you wanted to. If you added another toddler bed or another baby bassinet, whatever you wanted to do, you could do it. And personally, you got room to expand. Personally, you really do. Like, you could expand on this side or this side, add an extra room if you wanted to. You got the possibilities are endless with this house. But here's the toddler's room, kind of very generic with the dollhouse, the plants, the dresser, the bed, and the Wabbit tablet, of course. Here's the hallway. Here's another hallway. And then right here is probably my favorite room. It's very, not empty, but it has it's cluttered and very detailed. This is actually where Becky O'Neill is going to sleep for the remainder of her days because she's Becky O'Neill and she's an elder. But this is her bedroom, and I really like how I did it because I was kind of struggling on what color scheme I wanted to go for, whether it was going to be like blue or brown or green or whatever, but I used the most expensive bed that we have in the game, and I think it costs around 12,000 simoleons, I'm pretty sure. So I wanted to make sure this room was expensive looking, but had that very classic, elegant, non-cluttery vibe to it. So that's what I did here. And then over here is your guest bedroom, but this is where some kids sleep in here. So your generic double bed, dresser, your clock, and your computer. And then over here is where the baby sleeps. So if you have a newborn baby, you can put them in here. You can also paint if you wanted to and rock your baby, which you can't in The Sims 4, but you have somewhere to sit and take a nap. And that's kind of the entire second floor here. But then the backyard, I really, really wish the backyard had more detail. And I should have added more detail to the landscaping as well, but I was like, that's a little bit too much. And the house is already too expensive anyway. So I just kind of kept it very simple with the little pirate bay ship in the backyard, the pool, and then I did this built-in grill bar combo here, which I think is probably my favorite that I want to start doing more often, where the outside, the backyard mostly, has a built-in blank, where built-in bar, built-in grill, built-in whatever, and I like what I did because I have the bar here, I have the grill here, and everything is functional with no issues. I play tested it already, so you should be fine and good to go. And the pool seems a little bit big, but it seemed very appropriate for the size of the house and the size of the families that will be living here. And I wish I could have used the get-together pool color, because the get-together pool has more of a realistic water look to it, where this one, I mean, it looks okay, but it's just it doesn't make you want to dip into the pool right head on with no preparation, just jump right in with your clothes on, stuff like that. But I don't know. I like what I did here, but I think I could have done a little bit better. But overall, this is a house. This is what it looks like. And yeah, I think I really did really good. And I still can't get over this part. 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. That's all I see. That's all I see. And that's okay. But nevertheless, like I said, I hope you guys really enjoyed this house. I really had a lot of fun building it. Most definitely I will build more houses like this, probably on a bigger scale. We'll have to see. You never really know, but it could happen. But like I said, yeah, either way, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments below as always, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye!